No, God bless us all. Yeah. All right.
Walmart money.
Walmart money. Oh.
Walmart money.
All right, let's get focused. Okay, so today we are reviewing long division. We did see a little bit of long division yesterday when we were doing what? No? Sophia? Right, when we were dividing decimals, we didn't talk about long division, but we were essentially doing long division. So today, we're gonna kind of review part of long division, just especially the process of doing it. We're going to be working on problems that have to do with long division, decimals. So we're kind of reviewing yesterday and today all in one. But before we get started with all of that, do you guys remember about the brain dump? All right, so Gabby, tell me a little bit about like what the brain dump is.
So basically, you go back to like all you've learned in math and go look for the specific subject and then you write as much as you can for 5 minutes and you don't stop and put that material there.
Okay. So today, our topic for our brain dump is going to be long division. So everything that you put on your paper has to do with long division, correct? So remember, yesterday we put this EOG study guide in our notebooks. Pretty sure there's some long division on there if you want to take like 30 seconds to kind of briefly see if you can find it and look at it. And I'll stop talking for 30 seconds. Cam, what is your long division here today? You don't have it? You didn't put it in yesterday? Did I give you a piece of paper? Raise your hand, if you know anybody who's not here. All right, I'm gonna call your name, please say here. Juan.
Here.
Sophia.
Here.
Elizabeth. Here. Bryson. No, Bryson?
Finally. No one noticed
Hey.
Bryson.
You know you enjoyed his present.
Hold up, and the rest of the class doesn't have to do a match math.
No,
This is going.
that was last week, don't worry. Alright, Faith.
Here. That was for the rest of the year.
Marion. Here. Marion? Here. Oh, there you are, sorry. I was like, wait, I'm hearing there's something. Indira.
Here.
Callie.
Here.
Ariana.
Here.
Alex.
Here.
Abby.
Here.
Joseph.
Here.
Gracie.
Here.
Brielle.
Here.
Caitlin. Armani.
Here.
Levy.
Here.
Cam. Isabella. Carter.
Here.
Kira.
Here.
Lily. I thought she was here.
Who?
Lily.
It's not.
Soraya.
Here.
Ben.
Here.
Ramon.
Here.
Abby.
Here.
Savannah.
Here.
Andrew.
Here.
Abby. Okay, so the way the brain dump is gonna work today is you guys are gonna work right for 2 minutes. And then for the other 3, I'm gonna just fold your ideas and write it down. Okay, so I'm gonna let you work by yourself for that 2 minutes, but don't get overwhelmed with the fact that you're like, oh my God, I have to write for 2 minutes. No, you're just jotting down important things to help you with, what's it called? Long division. All right, so pencils in hand. We should be on our long division brain dump page. Everything else is put away, you're ready to write, because you have to do what for 2 minutes?
Remember and write.
Remember and write. Your pencil needs to be moving for that full 2 minutes. All right, are you writing full-on sentences?
No.
Are you jotting down just quick notes, information?
Yes.
All right, everybody ready? Go. Roll your pencils down. Now, you guys are gonna share out what you, like, one thing that you wrote, alright? So, I'm gonna set my timer for 3 minutes. Alright, go ahead. Alright, Soraya.
I put the first number goes inside the box first, and the second one goes outside the box.
Perfect. Alright, what else did we write? Andrew.
The divisor is on the outside of the house.
Perfect. Elizabeth.
Try to have a remainder of 0.
Okay, awesome. Addie?
You have to rewrite it. Instead of just being the translation, you gotta rewrite it.
So rewrite it using house?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Alright, Carter.
Dividing decimals, never do the decimal.
You said divide decimals what?
If you divide decimals, you have to bring a decimal up.
Okay. Cam.
Quotient means answer.
Ooh, I like that one. Good vocabulary. Alright, what else? Ramon?
The dividends inside the house.
Perfect. Were you and Andrew sharing notes?
No.
Alright, what else? I know you guys were writing. Gabby?
Use multiplication to find the numbers in the quotient.
You said use multiplication to find numbers what?
In the quotient.
In the quotient? In the what?
Is the answer.
I was just, you said quotient, right? Okay. Brielle.
The divisors on the outside.
Alright, so we got that one. Alright. Ramon?
When dividing fractions, use keep, change, flip. Oh, no, never mind. This is long divisions.
That's okay though. Keep, change, flip, equals, dividing fractions. At least you're thinking about division. I'm okay with that, dividing fractions. Alright, Andrew?
You have a leftover number, you have to create a decimal and then bring the 0 down.
So leftover number, bring 0 down, okay? Let me have someone new, or, no, I already called a new Cam. Levy, what'd you write? Just one thing. What'd you, just tell me one thing on your paper.
I didn't write it.
You didn't write anything?
No.
Sorry, no, I already called on you. Isabella, what'd you write? One thing.
I didn't know everything that you have updated.
You what?
I got everything that you have updated.
Does anybody have one thing that's different from up there that I haven't called on? Alright, Joe.
Take the second number and multiply it till it's as close as it can be to the first number.
Take the second number, multiply this. So like the outside number, multiply,
Yes.
okay. Alright, so multiply outside number to get as close to inside number. Alright, so if you do not have some of these on your paper, I want you to go ahead and copy down the ones that you don't have. Hopefully you do have a couple of repeats or ones that are similar. So I'm gonna give you 1 minute to pick 1 or 2 to write down to add to your paper. Alright, go ahead. Bless you. again, this is how our day is pretty much going to start, always with the brain dump on the topic that we are covering. Okay, so let's slide over and let's review, obviously, the steps that we have to do in order to solve for long division problems. So what is step number 1 when we're solving for long division?
Read the equation.
Okay, so we obviously have to read the problem, right? So we're gonna say read and rewrite if needed. Everybody understands what that means? Why would we need to rewrite our problem? Gabby?
Because it's not in the real house, the division house, it's written out with the division sign.
Perfect. So if it's written with the actual division sign, we need to rewrite it using the division house. Okay, so that's what that means. All right, so step number 2. What do we do next? Do you have something in your notebook? No way. Sophia, will you bring me your notebook real quick? And some of these might be buried in the top shelf back there, but this is technically what you should be looking for. Alright, so there was a glimpse of what step number 2 would be. Go ahead and find it in your notebook, y'all. I'll give you a hint. It was what was that one day that we had off? What was the date on it? April
It was in January, I think.
24th of January. You are correct. So everyone flip back to the 24th of January. 23rd, 20 something. I know it's in. Where's the next page? Oh, the wrong one. Not quite yet. All right, Addie, what's step number 2 technically? All right, step number 3. What's step number 3? Savannah?
Subtract. Subtract the numbers.
Okay, step number 4. Callie,
Bring your next number down.
bring what?
Bring your next number down.
Yep. Okay, and step number 5. Step number 5. Brielle,
Repeat or remainder.
so repeat. How do you know if you need to repeat? Does anybody know? How do you know if you need to repeat? Gabby?
There's either another number above it, or if you don't have a 0 as a remainder.
So another number above it, or you don't have a 0 as a remainder, okay? So another number above, or not a 0, or a 0, not a 0. Okay, so what is this little thing that I just darkened? What is this called? Alex. So this is your division house, however you want to call it, box, house, whatever. But this is essentially what you use for long division. All right, what is the number 8? What is the number 8? What do we call that one? Ariana.
The dividend?
Yep. What is the number 4? What is the number 4? Carter? The divisor. And then what is the number 2? Soraya? Quotient. Okay, and again, these are all things we should know, but I just want them again. I want them in your notes, so if you're looking back to review, you don't have to look back for notebooks, you just look back at our EOG review page. All right, any questions about the steps or the notes, or the labeling of the problem? All right, let's go ahead and try a few. So number 1. 74,749 divided by 93. Alright, so what do? You just jump right in and start dividing? Alright, so someone raise your hand and tell me what's step 1. What is step 1? What is step 1? Alright, Ben.
You have to rewrite the equation
Okay, using what?
using the division house.
And I know that my first number goes under the division house and my second number goes on the outside. So my first number is the number that is being divided, that's my dividend, and my divisor is the one that is dividing the dividend. I know that's a whole lot of. Alright, now, what do we do? What do we do? Right.
You have to multiply the divisor until you get to close enough to the first number that I
Okay, I'm gonna airhead. Alright. So, Soraya said we have to multiply the divisor until we get our answer, essentially. So, can I do 93 times anything to give me 7? No. Can I do 93 times anything to give me 74? Can I do anything times 93 to give me 747? Alright. Can we do that in our head? Possibly, but I want you to pull 93 over to the side, and I want you to multiply it by a number greater than 5. Greater than 5. Stand up when you think you have your answer. Alright, Carter, what did you multiply 93 by? Alright, so I'm going to put my 8 here, and I'm going to do 744 there, and I'm going to subtract. So I get 3, 0, 0. Alright, now, so I multiplied, I subtracted. What's step number 4? What's step number 4? Andrew?
You have to bring the next number down.
Okay, so I have 34. Now I have a question. Is 34 greater than or smaller than 93? Is smaller than, right, Levy? So Levy, do you know what we do since this number is smaller? Do we just say, okay, no big deal? What do we have to do in our quotient? Not a decimal, because we still have numbers, but, Levy, what do you multiply 93 by to get 34? Nothing, right? So what number equals nothing? So you have to put your 0 here. Does that make sense to everybody? And then we have to bring down our next number, which is the 9. Now can we multiply something by 93 to get 349, or
Yes.
close to it? Alright, so same thing, what? Do you have the answer? Do you have, or did you have a question? Okay, just wait then. So if you haven't done so, please go ahead, figure out what times 93 gets us really close to 349. When you have your answer, stand up. Alright, Cam, what did you multiply 93 by? Okay, and you got, alright, so now we are going to write our answer as a fraction. So how do I write this as a fraction? Because at this point, I'm not gonna add a decimal and a 0 to bring down and keep going. I wanna write it as a fraction. Sophia?
So we would keep the 83 as a whole, and then the 70 would be the numerator, and then the 92 would be
Okay, so that is using it as a fractional remainder, okay? So it's just gonna put in series, fractional remainder. Alright, questions about that one? Alright, let's do one more example. So we're gonna do 145 divided by 34. What do we do first? What do we do first? Levy?
Right.
So 144 divided by 34. Alright, what do we do next? Indira? Okay, so what can we multiply 34 by to get 1? Nothing. What can we multiply 34 by to get 14? Nothing. What can we multiply 34 by to get 144? 45, sorry. Ramon? 4. And that is going to give us 136. So I'm gonna do my subtraction. And I'm left with 9. So now I want to do it as a decimal remainder. So what do we do here if I'm using it as a decimal remainder? Callie?
add your decimal to the multiplication.
So add my decimal here and what?
And then the 0 and the
So decimal, 0, bring it down. What do I have to do with my decimal in my answer? So if I put my decimal here, Callie, where does? Well, no. So see how if we put our decimal here, we bring our 0 down. What do we do with our decimal? We bring it straight up. Don't forget to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and add our decimal now. All right, what times 34 will get me really close to 90 without going over? Alex? And that gives me what, 68? All right, I'm gonna add another 0. I have 220. What can I multiply 34 by to get real close to 220 without going over? don't know, figure it out. Sophia?
6.
Yes. And what do you get? It's what, 204? And at this point, we are going to stop at 16. So your answer for this one is 4 and 26 hundredths. Yes, it would obviously keep going, but we are not going to, just for time purposes. But mainly just refreshing that once you add your decimal, you put a 0, bring the 0 down, your decimal up. Okay? Questions? We're good? All right, go ahead and get a sheet of paper out that I passed out to you guys. All right, and as you will notice, if you have the room, you can definitely do your work right on this paper. If you feel like there's not enough room for you, you can always do your work in your notebook. But we will be annotating on this paper. So this is Noah drove 112,800 miles last year for her job. She drove the same number of miles each week. She worked 48 weeks last year. How many miles did Nora drive each week? So what's important here? All right, so which one is our dividend? Which number is our dividend? It's gonna go inside our division house. Savannah? Yes. So 112,800, and then 48 goes on the outside. Now, please use your answers to help you when you're doing division. It is the easiest way to do division. So looking at our answer choices, we have 2 as the first number. It's in what place value? What place value is the 2 in? Andrew? 1,000. So naturally, you're gonna put 2 little X's in the first 2 numbers. And then here, you're gonna say, okay, this is where my 2 starts, this is where my, looking at my answer choices, this is what I'm multiplying by. So 48 times 2 gives you what? 48 times 2 gives you what? Kira?
96.
Okay, so I'm gonna subtract 96 here. And that gives me 16. All right? Process of long division, I've multiplied, I've subtracted. Now what do I need to do? What do I need to do, Carter? Okay, and then again, looking at my answer choices, what is the next number I am multiplying 48 by? Because I don't have a choice at this point, right? What's the next one? Just look at your answer choices. What is the next number?
3.
Yes, so I'm going to multiply 48 by 3. What does that give me? Andrew?
142.
142. What is 8 times 3?
Times 3 is 24.
Okay, what's 3 times 4?
12.
Plus 2?
14.
That's what you meant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, we're gonna do our subtraction. That's gonna be 4, that's gonna be 2. I'm going to bring down my 0. Now, I'm looking at my answer choices. At that third number, which one can we get rid of? Based off of the process we're doing, which answer choice can we get rid of? Carter? A. Why can we get rid of A?
Because the test place is a 0, so it'd be like 240. That's not all.
Right, and we can multiply something by 48 to get 248, or 240, right? All right, now, what other answer choice can I eliminate? Joe?
You can eliminate B because 48 times 2, it equals 96, which is nowhere close to 240.
Right. So at this point, I know what my answer is, right? On the EOG, you are going to circle, dot, pick whatever, and you are going to move on. You are not going to finish this problem. Why? Why are you not finishing this problem? Isabella. Right, I mean, you already have your answer by process of elimination. Don't finish it. Today, though, are we going to finish it? Excuse me, what?
Oh.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. All right, so 48 times 5 gives me what? 240. And then bring down my other 0. 48 times what gives me 0? Ariana? 0. All right. Questions about the first one? All right, number 2 says, what is the solution to 6,528 divided by 32? So really this whole thing is highlighted because we're, yeah. All right. Which number goes under my division house? Which number goes underneath here?
6,500.
Okay, next time raise your hand, child. Can I do the same thing that I did last time? Can I use my answer choices to help me through this problem? Okay, so obviously we know that nothing times 32 is going to give us 6. Can we do though something times 32 to give us 65 or close? Alex, which number? 2. So obviously no matter what, we know our first number is going to be 2. Now, before I do anything else, can I eliminate some answer choices based off of where my 2 is located? The place value of my 2. Adi, which 2 can I get rid of? I can get rid of A and B because the place value of the 2 is what? In the tens place, not the hundreds place. Alright, so I'm going to do 32 times 2, which is going to give me 64. Bring down my 2. Alright. Again, I'm about to know my answer. Am I not? Why do I know that I'm about to know my answer? Gabby.
Because 32 hit 1 to 12 and there's only one answer choice with the 0 in the tens place.
Right, so right now I know my answer, and again, on the EOG, you circle your answer and you keep it moving. Today, we are not going to do that, okay? We're going to bring down our 8, and we're going to multiply it by 4, and that is going to give us 128, and that is our answer. Okay? Test taking strategies are key for you guys to get through this test in a timely fashion, but also, I feel like if you use your answer choices when you're given an answer choice, it helps you a ton more. How many of you guys do this when you do long division and you have multiple choice? You are looking at your answer choices and you're like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Everybody should have their hand raised because everybody should do this. This is essentially kind of like cheating because it's giving you your answers. Okay? What is 3? Are you just raising your hand? Okay. All right. Number 3 says, what is the quotient of 315 and 21? So again, when we're annotating the whole thing, there's not a whole lot to it. And the word quotient tells us what? Levy?
Answer.
Answer. So we are looking for the answer. All right, so 315 divided by 21. Again, can I use my answer choices? Yes, I can. All right, so here though, I have a little bit more variety. I have 1, I have 2, and I have 3. All right, so looking at 21, what can I multiply 21 by to get 3? Nothing, so I'm gonna put an X there, which means I'm going to do what with my answer choices?
Block off or exit out C and D
Why can I get rid of both of those?
because the answer won't be in the place.
Right, it won't be in the hundreds place based off of where we're starting our answer. All right, we obviously know that we can only multiply 21 by 1. And then obviously we're not going to multiply 21 by 0 we're going to multiply it by what? Gabby? And that is our answer. Alright, questions? Is long division as hard as you thought it was before? What should you use when you are dealing, it's not that hard, Amara, over there. No, it's not. Use your answer choices. It is imperative, ladies and gentlemen, that you use what they give you on your test. If they are giving you multiple choice, try to use those answers to help you in every way possible. Alright, let's move on to number 4. Alright, Kelly earns a salary of $45,720 each year. Her paychecks are divided equally throughout the year, and she is paid twice a month. How much is each paycheck before taxes? Alright, so this one's a little bit more involved, not necessarily harder though. Alright, what's important in this question? What's important in this question? Abby? Okay, what else?
She is paid twice a month.
So divided equally, paid twice a month, and then our question, how much is each paycheck before taxes? Alright, so we have our total, $45,720. But we gotta figure out what we're dividing. Are we dividing by 2? We divided by, what are we divided by? Because this is the hard part. This one's not just straightforward, here's a division problem solved. Callie, what do we have to do? By 2? So if I divided 45,720 divided by 2, that's what she gets paid for the whole year. So you're telling me she gets like $24,000 every 2 weeks? I need her job. Right? So does that make sense? And this is where it's gotta come in, guys, and say, okay, does this answer make sense? Okay? Andrew?
Divide it by 12 because it says she makes that each year. So divide it by 12 because there's 12 months in a year.
Okay, so there's 12 months in a year, so I see where you're going with the 12. But we also highlighted that she gets paid twice a month. So would dividing it by 12 give us our twice a month, or would it give us our monthly?
So
Month.
you do it by 24.
So, and this is why I'm asking. You can do divided by 12, but you're gonna have to do that extra step, aren't you? And divide that number by 2. Or you can say, well, 12 times 2 is gonna give me 24. I'm gonna divide that number by 24. So which way do you guys wanna do? Joe?
24.
Alright, so I'm gonna write real quick, 12 times 2 equals 24, so we remember where we got our 24 from. 12 months out of the year, and then we're going to do 45,720 divided by 24. Can I still use my answers to help me? Yes, I can. Alright, so what can I multiply 24 by to get 4? Anything? No. What can I multiply 24 by to get 45 without going over? Elizabeth? 1. So I'm going to get rid of C and D. Bring down my 7. Alright, what can I multiply 24 by to get 217 without going over? You have 2 options. Which 2 numbers are you going to multiply by? 7 and 9. So if you're not sure, go ahead and do 24 times 7, see what you get, and do 24 times 9 and see what you get. See which one gets closer. Which one is closer? 7 or 9? Savannah? 9. Alright, what can I multiply 12 by or 24 by to get 12? Nothing, right? And at this point, you already have your answer. EOG day, you're gonna keep it moving. Today, we are not. We're gonna finish it up. What can we multiply 24 by to get 120? 5. So again, I ask, how much easier is it to do long division when you're using your answer choices to help you? I mean, to me, I feel like it's way easier. It's kind of like a
cheat sheet.
exactly. It's a cheat sheet in a way, because I mean, come on now, focus for me. Don't play with me. Essentially, it's kind of giving you, okay, well, here's an answer choice. See if this works. Here's an answer choice. See if this works. One other thing. If you still are like, I have no idea how to bring numbers down, I hate long division, it makes no sense to me, how else can you use your answer choices to still find the answer? What else can you do? Carter?
You can multiply your answer choice by the divisor.
Yes. So you can multiply this number on the outside by your answer choices and see which one gives you your total. That's another way you can do it. Okay, so like if we wanted to do this one, I would do 2,350 times 48. That's 30.4. And did I get the same answer
Yes.
as what our total was in our problem? Okay, so again, if you are not comfortable with long division and you have answer choices, multiply your divisor by your answer choices and see which one gives you your total. Yes.
Can we do that in the EOG, where they do pattern do that?
Girl, I don't care what you do on the EOG as long as you don't talk and you get your answers right. Or cheat, but I mean like you use whatever strategy works for you. I am not one of those teachers that you must use this strategy because I taught it to you. No, do what you need to do to get the right answers. Does that make sense? Except for don't talk away, obviously.
It's only cheating if you get caught.
Ask Andrew how good I am at catching people cheating.
I was telling Bryson, I was not.
That's still a misadministration for the whole class. Whether somebody is dying on the floor or not. You let me handle it, don't talk. I don't care if like you're bleeding out. I will figure it out, don't talk. Don't raise your hand, like, Skinny, I'm dying, okay? You just sit there and die. We're gonna keep testing. No, I would scoot you out of the room and then like wipe and let it with a paper towel and just let you bleed outside.
What?
Just kidding, it's a joke. I'm just saying like, let's not have a misadministration because we're silly. Okay? But no, back to your question. Do whatever you need to do to get the right answer on EOG day. Alright. I would not let y'all bleed out. I hope you know that, right?
I wouldn't bleed out because I'd already be on
You
the
maybe,
bus.
but
I'd already be on the bus.
you'd already be on the bus?
Yeah, before
Yeah.
I was bleeding out.
The bus? Who told me that joke? Oh, Lord. Which explains a lot. Okay, so moving on. The next one says an art project requires 672 beads. If the beads are divided equally among 28 students, how many beads will each student get? All right, so what's important in this question? Juan, what's important in the question, babe?
672 beads,
Okay.
28 students.
What's important in front of that, though?
That is divided equally.
Divided equally. And then what's the last part that's important?
The question.
Yes. Make sure you're copying all of our stuff down too. Alright, so we are doing 672 divided by 28. Can I use my answer choices as always?
Yes.
Yes, I can. So we know it's not gonna, we can't multiply 28 by anything to get 6. We can multiply 28 times 2, which gives us what, 56? Bring down our 2. Alright, so we can get rid of A because A is 20. We know that we're gonna be multiplying it by something, and this thing is really bad at baby me. Alright, we know it's not gonna be 22, why? Addie?
It's 2 times, oh, yeah, it's 2 times 28 are 6.
Okay, what about 23? It's gonna be 23? Why?
Because if you think about it, 28 plus like a 56 would be around 80 or 70. So then you go to the next one.
Alright, so if we multiply 28 times 4, we end up with 112. So our answer is 24. Alright, for the remainder of class today, my watch is which is not too long, you guys are going to be working with your group members to solve these problems. Just work through, make sure you're actually working, because if we continue to talk and not work during this time, you will be working independently. Alright, one other thing. Your homework for tonight is 7, 9, 10, 12, and 14. So 10, 12, 14, 7, and 9. So maybe that will help you motivate to which one you should do first. Go ahead. Yeah. Get started.
Honestly, on number 6, I think yeah, I don't think you really need to. I mean, you obviously are
Gracie, do you want to join a group or no, babe?